The bleach fumes burned my eyes before I even saw what she'd done. I stood in the doorway of my childhood bedroom, still holding the bottle of champagne I'd brought to share with my sister the night before my wedding. A foolish attempt at bridging the gap between us. But there was Chloe, holding an empty gallon of bleach over my wedding dress, watching the fabric dissolve like cotton candy in rain. "Oops," she said, her smile sharp as broken glass. "Guess you'll have to call it off." The dress hung from its hanger like a ghost of what it was supposed to be. Where there had been delicate lace and pearl beading, there were now gaping holes, yellow stains spreading like disease across silk that had taken me 2 years to save for. The train was completely gone, dissolved into chemical nothing on the plastic sheet she'd carefully laid out. Because even in destruction, Chloe was meticulous about protecting Mom's hardwood floors. "What did you do?" My voice came out as a whisper, which was worse than screaming. Screaming would have given her satisfaction. Mom appeared in the doorway, took one look at the dress, and laughed. Actually laughed. "Ugly girls don't deserve white anyway," she said, sipping her wine. "Maybe this is God's way of telling you to reconsider." Dad's heavy footsteps came up the stairs. He surveyed the scene with the same expression he used for checking the mail, bored, slightly inconvenienced. "At least now it matches your worth," he said. "Saves everyone the embarrassment of pretending you're bride material." I stood there, champagne bottle growing warm in my hand, watching my family circle like vultures around the corpse of my happiness. 26 years of this. 26 years of being the spare daughter, the practiced child, the one who existed only to make Chloe shine brighter by comparison. "Nothing to say?" Chloe stepped closer, bleach bottle still in hand. "Or are you finally realizing what we've all known forever? That Dylan deserves better than you." My fiancé's name in her mouth made my skin crawl. She'd been circling him since I'd brought him home 2 Christmases ago, touching his arm, laughing too loud at his jokes, finding excuses to need his help with everything from reaching high shelves to fixing her perfectly functional car. "You should thank me," she continued. "I'm saving him from making the biggest mistake of his life. Do you really think someone who looks like him wants to wake up next to someone who looks like you every morning?" "Chloe's doing him a favor," Mom added. "Remember when you were 12 and thought that boy liked you? We had to tell you the truth then, too. Some people are meant to be chosen, sweetheart. Others are meant to be settled for." I looked at the dress again. The bodice I'd spent hours being fitted for. The veil my future mother-in-law had worn at her own wedding, passed down with tears and joy. All of it destroyed because I dared to be happy, dared to be chosen, dared to believe I deserved something beautiful. "You have 3 hours to fix this," I said quietly. They all laughed. Dad actually slapped his knee. "Or what? You'll uninvite us?" "Oh no, we'll miss watching you waddle down the aisle in whatever clearance rack disaster you find at this hour." "The wedding's off anyway," Chloe said confidently. "I already texted Dylan from your phone while you were in the shower. Told him you'd been having second thoughts, that you realized you weren't ready. He's probably relieved." My hand tightened on the champagne bottle. "You did what?" She held up my phone, wiggling it like a treat. "Your password's still your birthday." Pathetic. But don't worry, I was kind about it. Told him you loved him but couldn't do this to him. Very noble. He'll remember you fondly. "Show me," I said. She tossed me the phone. There it was, sent 40 minutes ago. "Dylan, I can't do this. You deserve better than me. I'm so sorry. Please don't contact me. I need space to think." And his response. "What's going on? This doesn't sound like you." "I'm coming over." "He's coming here?" Chloe's eyes lit up. "Perfect. I should change. Can't have him seeing me in ratty pajamas during his time of crisis." She practically skipped out of the room. Mom followed, already planning. "I'll make coffee. Poor boy will need comforting. Chloe, wear the blue sundress." Dad lingered, looking at me with something that might have been pity if he were capable of it. "You should have known better," he said. "Reaching above your station always ends like this. At least when Chloe inevitably takes him, he'll stay in the family." Silver lining. They left me alone with the destroyed dress and the ticking clock. 3 hours until my wedding. 2 hours until Dylan arrived. 1 moment to decide what kind of person I was going to be. I pulled out my laptop and started typing. The thing about growing up as the ugly sister, the disappointment, the one whose achievements were accidents and whose failures were expected. You learn to document everything. Every cruel word becomes evidence. Every sabotage becomes a story. Every moment they thought you were too stupid to understand became ammunition for later. I had files. Years of files. Like the video of Chloe cheating on her SATs, paying the smart kid from her class to take them for her. She got into an Ivy League school with those scores. The same school where she was now studying marketing while actually failing most of her classes, which Mom and Dad didn't know because I'd been hacking her email and deleting the academic warnings for 2 years, letting her dig her hole deeper. Like the recording of Dad at his office Christmas party, drunkenly confessing to his boss about the embezzlement scheme he'd been running for 5 years. My ugly daughter's too stupid to notice the college fund's gone, and the pretty one doesn't need it. She'll marry rich. He'd been skimming from his company and my non-existent college fund simultaneously. Like the photos of Mom with her personal trainer, the one Dad was paying for because he thought she was getting healthy for their anniversary. 25 years of marriage, and she was planning to serve him divorce papers at their anniversary party next month. I'd seen the lawyer's emails she thought she'd hidden. I'd been collecting it all, waiting for the right moment. Turns out the right moment was now. I uploaded everything to scheduled posts across every platform. Timed perfectly. The SAT scandal would break during the ceremony. The embezzlement evidence would hit Dad's boss's inbox during the reception. Mom's affair photos would populate a shared family Google Drive right as they cut the anniversary cake next month. But that was just the appetizer. I grabbed my keys, my laptop, and the champagne bottle. On my way out, I passed Chloe's room where she was curling her hair, humming the wedding march. I paused at her doorway. "The blue sundress has a stain," I said helpfully. "Wear the pink one. It matches your personality better, superficial and desperate." She flipped me off without turning around. "Jealous already? I haven't even stolen him yet." "Good luck with that," I said, and meant it. Dylan's car pulled up just as I was loading mine. He jumped out, still in his pre-wedding jeans and t-shirt, hair messy from what was clearly a panicked drive. "What the hell is going on?" he asked, grabbing my shoulders. "That text, I knew it wasn't you. You'd never." "They destroyed my dress," I said simply. "Chloe texted you from my phone. They think you're here to be comforted by her in the blue sundress." His face went through several emotions before landing on fury. "Are you fucking kidding me?" "No. But it doesn't matter. Get in your car. Follow me. We have a wedding to get to. But your dress is handled. Trust me. Just like everything else is handled. But we need to go now, before they realize I'm not playing their game anymore." He looked at me, really looked at me. This man who'd chosen me, who'd loved me, who'd never once made me feel like the ugly sister. "Okay, but can you tell me where we're going?" "To get married," I said. "Just not the way we planned." I saw the curtains move in Chloe's window. Let her watch. Let her see him choose me again. Let her prepare for a conquest that would never come. We drove to the courthouse where Judge Martinez was waiting, Dylan's uncle, who'd agreed to be our backup plan because I'd learned long ago to always have backup plans when your family specialized in sabotage. My maid of honor, Janine, met us there with the dress she'd been hiding from me. Simple, elegant, and purchased with cash they couldn't trace. "You knew?" Dylan asked as I changed in the courthouse bathroom. "I hoped I was wrong," I said. "But yeah, I knew they'd try something. They always do when I'm about to be happy." We got married in front of 6 people who actually loved us. No fancy reception, no elaborate ceremony, just promises made by people who meant them. Janine live-streamed it to our real friends, the ones who mattered. The ones who'd never once called me ugly or worthless or tried to steal my joy. My phone exploded with messages as we signed the papers. "Chloe first. Where are you?" "Dylan's here and you're gone?" "Mom, this is so typical. Running away like a coward." "Dad, you've embarrassed this family for the last time." I turned off my phone and kissed my husband. The scheduled posts started hitting while we were on our way to the airport for our honeymoon. Chloe's academic fraud exposed. Dad's embezzlement detailed with receipts. Mom's affair photos tastefully censored but unmistakable. But the masterstroke was the video compilation I'd saved for last. Years of security camera footage from our house. Dad had installed the system, but never changed the default password. Every cruel word, every act of sabotage, every moment they thought was private. Chloe admitting she'd keyed my car because I'd gotten a promotion. Mom throwing away my acceptance letters to grad school. Dad accidentally deleting my thesis the night before it was due. And finally, the crown jewel. Last night's dress destruction in full HD, complete with their commentary about ugly girls and worth. It went viral within hours. #UglyGirlsDeserveWhite started trending. People found their social media, their workplaces, their country club. The court of public opinion delivered a verdict they never saw coming. By the time we landed in Greece, Chloe's Ivy League had opened an investigation. Dad's company had fired him and pressed charges. Mom's trainer had leaked their texts to save his own reputation. Their house of cards collapsed while I ate breakfast overlooking the Mediterranean with a man who'd never once made me feel less than beautiful. They tried calling, of course. Hundreds of times. When that didn't work, they tried email. Long rants about family loyalty, about forgiveness, about how I'd ruined their lives over a dress. I sent back one message, a photo from our honeymoon. Me in a simple white sundress, Dylan looking at me like I hung the moon. The Greek sunset painting everything gold. The caption read, "Ugly girls do deserve white. And love. And happiness. And freedom from people who only see their worth as something to destroy." Then I blocked them all. Chloe lost her scholarship. Without Mom and Dad's money, frozen during the embezzlement investigation, she had to drop out. Last I heard, she was working at the mall, at a store where I used to shop while she mocked my choices. Dad took a plea deal. 3 years probation, full restitution. He lives in a studio apartment now, no family to visit, no reputation to maintain. Mom's divorce went through, but without Dad's income or her trainer's interest. Turns out he was only in it for the money. She moved back with her mother, who'd always hated how she treated me. And their anniversary? The one I'd supposedly ruined? Well, it came and went without celebration. Hard to toast 25 years when everyone knows it was built on lies, affairs, and the systematic destruction of one daughter to elevate another. Meanwhile, Dylan and I celebrated our 6-month anniversary last week. He surprised me with a recreation of our original wedding plan. The venue, the flowers, even a replica of my destroyed dress. This time, the only people invited were the ones who'd stood by us at the courthouse. The ones who knew my worth had nothing to do with conventional beauty or my family's approval. You know what the best part is? Dylan said as we danced, no bleach stains or cruel words in sight. What's that? They were right about one thing. I did deserve better. I deserved someone who survived them and came out stronger. I deserved you. I laughed, really laughed, for the first time in years without worrying someone would punish me for the sound. Careful. Ugly girls who get happy endings might break the universe. Good, he said, spinning me under his arm. It needed breaking anyway. The song ended, but we kept dancing. In the photos from that night, you can see it clearly. 2 people who chose each other, not because they had to, not because they settled, but because love isn't about deserving. It's about choosing again and again, despite the people who try to convince you you're not worth choosing. They said ugly girls don't deserve white. They were wrong. We deserve white and ivory and champagne, and whatever color makes us feel beautiful. We deserve love that sees past surfaces. We deserve families we choose, not the ones that choose to hurt us. And we deserve wedding dresses that no amount of bleach can destroy, because they're made of something stronger than fabric. They're made of survival and choice, and the radical act of believing we're worth more than the cruelest words said about us. So here's to the ugly girls, the ones who were told they don't deserve white. Wear it anyway. Wear it bright. Wear it bold. And when someone tries to bleach your happiness, remember, you can always choose a different dress, a different path, a different family. The dress was just fabric. But the girl wearing it? She was unbleachable.